Hello, good afternoon. I hope you are well today. I'm Varsha and I'm going to today show you how to make a beautiful masala based sauce. I have just in my pan added a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. I like to cook with olive oil, just a simple extra virgin olive oil. This sign here shows it's like a single origin, so this olive oil is a really nice peppery one that you can just get. I got that from Aldi, so also it's really cost effective as well. So I have allowed my oil to gently heat up. Now I'm making a masala based sauce, which is the gateway to so many different curries. Just master this sauce and you can make so many variations of curries using this simple onion and tomato based sauce. And I like to cook with 7 everyday spices. I won't be using the cumin seeds and the mustard seeds today, but I will be using the other ground spices as well as ginger and garlic. So I'm going to start by adding, I've got 2 onions here. I finely chopped the onions. Sometimes I do actually add cinnamon sticks and cardamom to this, and actually I do, but I'm not today because I just want to show you a basic masala sauce. So I've chopped up the onions, I'm coating them in the oil. Oil is your choice, what you prefer to use. I do actually like to cook with olive oil. I don't let it get to really like smoking, piping hot. Anyway, even when I do a tarka, so got to really look after our fats and oils, not to get them so high because then that's not so good, and then that also burns our spices as well. So I've got this on a medium temperature. I'm going to pop the lid on here now, and main thing here is I want the onions to cook really well to get them really nice and soft. So turn it down slightly. Now while the onions are cooking, I always tell people who I teach that, you know, it's the most important thing. Allow them to cook for a good 5-10 minutes until they get really nice and soft. And in that time, you could be preparing your other ingredients. I've got it all ready for you. Well, not for, already got it ready, but just to, so that you kind of like don't get impatient, because I would get impatient as well. So I have got here now a nice heaped teaspoon of fresh grated ginger, and I just simply grate mine using one of these little graters. So I've got a nice little piece of ginger. It was an organic one, so I did keep the skin on, because you do get like a nice little bit of spice, extra heat from the ginger in that layer between the actual skin and the actual flesh of the ginger. I love garlic, so here are 3 or 4, I think it was about 3 cloves of garlic that I have, again, just use my grater, it's really simple. And then 2 green chilies, and the chilies will give you really nice bit of heat as well. So I'm just going to check on my onions again and give them a little stir through. And yeah, if you are new to Indian cooking, you love Indian cooking, all I want to let you know, most important thing is it's all about the flavour. It is about the heat as well, but it's all about the layers upon layers of flavour. Right now, you know, if you could smell, it's a beautiful scent here in the kitchen. Lovely onions are cooking, and optional, you can add like cinnamon to this as well. Actually, just let me add that to it, and that will add a nice little bit of sweetness. And as the onions cook as well, they're creating their own nice bit of sweetness as well. Now the dried spices I'm going to add today are, I'll just show you from my tin, is ground coriander. So just show you there. Ground coriander gives really lovely citrusy flavour. It's really there for the flavour. So if you accidentally put a bit too much in, don't worry about it. You don't want to put a bit too much of chili powder in, because that's going to create heat. But if you do put a little bit extra of ground coriander, it's all fine. And then I've got here is ground cumin. I grew up having cumin and coriander mixed together called dana jiru, but now I just keep them separately, mainly just to explain for teaching as well. Now this is ground cumin. Ground cumin is earthier, it's much stronger than the ground coriander, so I wouldn't really put a whole teaspoon like this in there, but about half the amount. Next, let me show you turmeric. I've never really used fresh turmeric. I've always, even growing up, using dried ground turmeric. And I would always say, try and if you can, get yourself a good turmeric, an organic one. And because turmeric has lots of health benefits as well. Even like when you've got a cold, I like to make myself a turmeric and black pepper drink. So try and get yourself a good turmeric. Chili powder. Here is the chili powder, and again, chili powder is, from my understanding, it's red chilies that have been dried and ground, and it should just be that one ingredient in there. You get lots of different types of chili powder as well. It might have it on the actual label, just check it. You have a really hot one, but then you also have, I've got one here, okay, a mild chili powder, which I didn't get it out, sorry, is this one here. Beautiful Kashmiri chili powders, or Kashmiri chilies. They are lovely and vibrant, but they are also mild as well, so you get that nice flavour of it as well. Let me just check the onions again. Let's give them a stir here. So they're softening. If you want to kind of like not add so much oil in, I mean, I didn't put that much in, but if you find it sticking, either lower the heat down or add some water to it as well. Next I've got here garam masala. Okay, so even though I call this garam masala, isn't one spice, it is part of my 7 spices, but it isn't one spice, it's a blend, and each family has its own recipe. Now, some of the main ingredients that go in garam masala are cinnamon for sweetness, and black peppercorns and cloves, and they give it the heat and the lovely extra depth of flavor. In this one, the one I make, I simply use cinnamon, black peppercorns, cloves, and I wouldn't even put a whole load of cloves in, because cloves are quite strong as well. So when you do make it, do get yourself a recipe cloves, or you can readily buy garam masala from the supermarkets as well and shops. As well as in this one, I've got some dried ginger, ground up dried ginger, did I say cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, and a little bit of star anise, bay leaf, and some people also put, and it all varies, cardamom and cloves, and they kind of like, it just extends it out a little bit as well. So these are my 7 everyday spices, and I have been cooking with them like since I can remember. Actually, I forgot to show you, I'm not using it in today's recipe, but these are cumin seeds, beautiful cumin seeds, and I add them to dishes like veggie dishes, or even I could have added it to this today, but I just want to show you simple masala sauce. And mustard seeds as well. We always use like either the brown or black ones. You also get yellow mustard seeds. They're usually used for like European cooking as well, but if you don't have black or the brown ones, mainly they're brown, and you've got only yellow, it's fine, it's okay to use that as well. All right, so go back to my onions, and they are looking good. Do you see that they've got a lovely little bit of a char? Now, if you're new here and you want to learn Indian cooking, just follow me, subscribe, follow me. I also have a free community over on School, and I also have a handbook that I have with some recipes in there, and they all use the 7 everyday spices. Now, I'm soon going to add the ginger and garlic. I'm just going to give it another extra minute. This masala based sauce, I will next add my fresh garlic, ginger and chili. If you don't want to use green chili, that's fine. You can just use the dried chilies in here. If you don't want to put chili in, because some people don't like it like spicy with heat, you don't have to, just leave it out and it's all fine. There are no rules like that, because some people don't like it spicy hot, but they love Indian food and they don't eat it because they say it's too hot. Just put a little bit in, or you can leave it out because you've got flavor from coming from all the other spices. Now I'm then going to add, you can use fresh tomatoes. I'm going to then make the sauce using passata. I like using passata. You can use fresh tomatoes or like tinned plum tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, any's fine. Now in here today, you can put any protein that you like. I sometimes use this for chicken curry, for paneer, but today I'm going to make butter beans. Love butter beans, or chickpeas as well. And I've got some fresh kale. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the garlic and stir that through. And this is again the next layer upon layer of flavour. And if you're a fan of garlic, you'll know how lovely the aroma of it. Now, if you're not keen on garlic, you can also make this without putting the garlic in. Now I'm adding the ginger. Stir that through. Main thing here is just make sure nothing is burning to the pan. So can you see it's all nice and clean? Stir that through. So everything is given the heat, is given the time for it to blend. And now it's lovely because I can just smell the lovely garlic and the ginger all coming through there. Okay, last but not least, for my fresh, I'm going to add the green chilies. I don't mind the chilies, so you could also, like if you have a blender, blitz them as well. I just freeze, and for quick, I just chop them up. There you go. Okay, right, so everything's still fine. My temperature is on a low, and I'm going to now go in with my dried spices. So ground coriander, so nice heaped teaspoon. I'm going to add 2 of these. Ground coriander gives flavour, and then like a citrusy flavour. Ground cumin, like an earthy flavour. Mix them through. Okay, it's looking good. Now I'm going in with my turmeric, about a level-ish teaspoon. And chili powder. Now I have got green chilies in there, and green chilies can be quite strong, and this chili powder is quite strong as well. So I'm just going to add a little bit, because you can always add extra after that as well. Always remember that with chili powder. Now next I'm going to add salt, and salt really does, don't be afraid of the salt. I'm not telling you to add too much of the salt, but you want to add salt to bring out the flavour of the spices. Always start off with a little bit. Sometimes when, if you like, I can understand you don't want to put too much in, and too much will actually ruin it, but sometimes you think there's something missing, and sometimes it might be just a pinch of salt that might be needed, and the salt brings out that lovely flavour. Okay, here you go. So that is absolutely looking lovely. Even though I'm making this into an onion tomato based masala sauce, if you're not really into tomatoes but you want a sauce, the other alternative what you can put into this is, and if you like coconut milk, you could put coconut milk in at this time as well. So whoops, well, I'm going to use half a jar. Whoops, be careful. Right, okay, there you go. And mix that through, and that is a lovely sauce. There you go. I'm just going to pop the lid on just for a second. Just let that kind of like all fuse through, and just quickly go through what I've done. I heated the oil, I cooked the onions, and I really let the onions cook really well for about 5 minutes or so. Then I went in with the garlic, fresh garlic, grated simply with my grater, and ginger, let that cook through. That doesn't take long, that takes about 30 seconds or so. Being careful not to burn the spices though, so my temperature was quite low. And then I added the green chilies. Again, if you don't want the heat, leave the chilies out, and then in with the dried ground spices. So ground coriander, ground cumin, turmeric, and chili powder. There you go. And then garam masala, the blend of spices, I will pop at the end. Okay, so now this masala sauce is done, and now you can put in your chosen ingredient. You can put chicken in, boiled eggs is quite nice, paneer, tofu, like if you're doing paneer and tofu, gently fry them off beforehand, chickpeas. But however, I'm going to put in, I've got a couple of cans of butter beans, lovely buttery butter beans. Stir them through, and that was 2 cans, and this should be enough for like 4 people. If you want more sauce to this, I will just add a little bit of water. Oops, there you go, and that gives it a nice bit of sauce. And to this, just to add another depth of flavour, I'm going to add some tomato puree, and that was about a tablespoon of tomato puree. Okay, now let that, and it's cooked, so I'll just let that simmer. And this is ready to eat, but like so. There you go. And then just let that simmer for about 5 minutes or so, and then it's ready to go in with, I've got kale here. Just pour that water out. Kale's in season right now, so I've got some finely chopped kale, but spinach would be really lovely in here, and you don't have to add any extra veggies to it, but I just, it's quite nice. Peas would be quite nice in here. Peas, adami beans. You know, you can get really creative. You really can get creative. Learn to make this masala based sauce. It's really straightforward, just using the 5 of the 7 everyday spices I use. And if you want to learn Indian cooking, I have a free school community. I also have a handbook, so go over to the link in bio and you can join this free school community or get the handbook there as well. So I'm now going to add the kale to the masala sauce. You don't have to add kale. You could also, tell you what would be really good in here is if you haven't got fresh, because I always have frozen spinach as well. Frozen spinach would be really nice too. So lots of different variations that you could do once you have made the masala based sauce. There you go. I should top that up for you. I'm actually afterwards, after done this, I will let it simmer, but just to show you, I'm then just going to add some of the kale to this. Mix that through. It looks absolutely beautiful. Look at the beautiful colours. And that's going to wilt through as well. Even sweet potato would be quite nice, and potato, and obviously you'd then allow the potatoes to cook. I've used pre-cooked beans, so there you go. I'll just let that cook through, and then the final ingredient to add is the garam masala. Adds an extra depth of flavour. If you are not so keen to add garam masala on the end, and some people aren't, and actually, you know what, I've just realised I would like a little bit more sauce in here, so I'm going to add a little bit extra water to this. So yeah, once you get used to cooking this recipe, you kind of like be able to kind of like judge yourself as well. Like you'll know yourself if you want more sauce, or if you want a drier curry. You could There you go. That's it. Shall I add a little bit more sauce to it? Because I am going to let this cook for a little bit longer. Like so. And thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching the video. And that is it. And if you have got some fresh coriander, that will be quite nice in here too. Sprinkle over some fresh coriander, stir that through, and this is ready to enjoy. There you go. Thank you. And thank you for joining, and thank you for watching. So this was the masala based sauce. You can go over to the link in bio. I've got my handbook there. That recipe is in there. I just made the basic masala based sauce, and to it I added butter beans. Look at them, they look absolutely beautiful. This is going to feed 4 people, and then this is really nice with either chapatis or rice or naan. The handbook has got recipe for chapatis. It's got recipes for naan as well as basmati rice, matar bhat, pea rice as well. So yeah, there you go. I'll leave that open so you can have a quick little look. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Oops, sorry.